Hello, Jamaica. Welcome again to the Jamaica Patriotic Alliance. I am the great defender. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? With that, greetings in the powerful name of the Most High God. As we come again, Jamaica, we come as a country in crisis mode. I would like to address the issue of some of our citizens having the painful experience of seeing their homes demolished by the government of Jamaica. And some of these poor people have gone out of their way to purchase lands to make a home for themselves and their families. It goes to the point I have made in prior broadcasts about the weak and incompetent land program that is available in Jamaica. Jamaica does not have a proper forestry program. The governments over the years have failed to institute a land program that is a comprehensive one that the people of Jamaica can well understand. There is a law that says if you are on land for 5 years undisturbed and paying the taxes, then you're automatically the owner, which I think is a very weak and incompetent law because it misleads a lot of people to lay hold on ownership of things that does not really belong to them. You can have your land and be gone for 10 years, and when you come back, somebody else owns it. That is a very weak and incompetent law. And so the poor people are made to start all over again because the government had failed to put a land program in place that they had somewhere and someone to turn to. These people were buying lands from who they thought owned the land. And I've said before, you're running a country, there must be a forestry program, a parks program, that you have regular visits by park rangers going through these lands with military accompaniment and drones going back and forth overhead to monitor for aerial view of these lands and to make sure illegal activities are not taking place on these lands. And so the planning has got to go into how land distribution is administered in Jamaica. Our Jamaican people have been made to feel like modern day slaves. These people have been just reminded that they don't have the right to own anything, even when they pay for it. And that is a dangerous tone and a dangerous precedence that the government is setting for our people in Jamaica. You are telling the people that even when they pay for it, they cannot own it. Before you bulldoze these houses down, there should have been consultation with the people that have made these houses. And their pre-arrangements must be in place for the relocation of these innocent people who have become victims of the weak and inept laws of the land. The people have looked to the dons and area leaders for leadership because the void has been left there by the government. And so a person will get permission from a don to build a house there if you want to. There's no office where these people can turn to. The government has left them stranded until election time. When election time, they're present and they're giving them false hopes. When the election is over, there's no leadership. And we have to visit this land program that I've been talking about. That the government has got to start cutting roads through all these lands across Jamaica. There must be drivable tracks through these lands and aerial surveillance of our forests. People must have somewhere to go when they have a question to ask. They must have someone to turn to. But then you leave them to the area dons, and these are the people who have been leading them for between elections. And these are the people that turn to settle their little problems and every issue. And when the effect of this leadership void takes place, the people are punished. But where were you, the government, when they were purchasing these lands from people who didn't really own it? There's not a sign that put up that says squatting is not allowed. There's not a sign that put up there that says these lands belong to the government of Jamaica, no trespassing allowed. There's nothing, not even words on a piece of wood to say don't pay. And people have been occupying these lands from generation to generation. Now people are purchasing lands because they are purchasing it from people they assume own the land, and people who legitimately felt that they own the land. The cruelty of this action by the government, the miscalculated moves by the government, the unpreparedness for the consequences of such actions by the government speaks to the incompetence of the leadership of our country. And therefore I say to Jamaicans once more, this is another benchmark that you must use to demand new leadership. We have a lot of unemployed people across the country that would be utilized if the government institute a proper land and forestry program. Land can be owned by the people of Jamaica if the government wants them to own it. And it is only fair that these people be rewarded with parcels of land and be given a title that they can go and borrow finances and build and make themselves into powerful and dignified people. They are good people with good intentions that are treated badly by bad politicians. And so the empowerment of our people is a priority and must become a priority if it is not. The power of real estate must be made available to our citizens. There are too many people in Jamaica who are absolutely powerless and impoverished because the laws of the land does not permit them to own anything. And my description of that is modern day slavery. The slave is not allowed to own anything. He is only supposed to work. And that is where we are at in Jamaica, where people will be living on lands from generation to generation and they can never own it. And there's nowhere to turn to borrow or money to buy these lands. There's nothing in place for the poor people. And so a lot of them have given up on life. A lot of them have chosen to die. They make a mad rush at something and just die. The people, the morale is sapped out of the people. Mr. Government, this move is a very malicious move. It is wrong. And the people of Bernard Lodge and all other parts of Jamaica that have been destroyed literally must be compensated for their losses. These people must be given instant shelter. You owe it to Jamaica. You took a job as government, and if you're not going to perform in the office of government, I would say resign and let competent people get in there. There has to be proper planning on the part of our leaders. Forestry and land programs must be in place. Train and employ a lot of your young people across the highlands that need a job. Print local currency and pay them well. Manage the country well. You are entrusted with the affairs of Jamaica. It is time you perform in your job. And if you can't do the job, we say remove yourself from the office and let other people who are competent come and take those places. Why would we have an election to put some people in office that cannot manage the office that they have been entrusted with? If you call a carpenter to build your house and he is not doing a good job, I'm sure you would want to replace him with another carpenter. And so the standard must go across the board. We have to have proper accountability from top to bottom. We have a country to build. We have to sit with the community leaders. And instead of having them becoming outlaws or maintain their outlawship, have them register a business, a company with the country that you can monitor them. That way you will know when they're breaking the law. But if you allow these lands and the ghettos to just be run anyhow, why have a government? These are people, a lot of them can be sit down. You can sit them down, educate them on their civic duties, and empower them. Utilize the people. It is people that build the country. And if you have a man in a community with the influence over the people, then you've got to give him some courses, some training on his civil duties. So you would transform him from a gangster to a civil individual that say, listen, this is not the way to go. We are going to have you register an organization. These will be the mandate. And you will report to the government. Crime must not be involved. But since you have the influence over the people, well, we can use you as an emissary to get word to the people. That could be an option, but it doesn't have to be. If the government so insists and is serious enough, they can go into any of these neighborhoods and develop them properly. Jamaica is suffering from the underutilization of its people and its forestry. The land is being wasted and the people are being wasted. With that, I come to the end of today's broadcast. Thank you, Jamaica, and I hope these words of wisdom have not fallen on deaf ears. Like, share, and subscribe.